So dexterity itself, strategy, execution, organizational alignment. Now, we start thinking about organizational alignment, we think about HR practices as part of that, correct? We're going to get there. But let's start with one of the things, again, that came out of Christina's talk was we've got to say what's important. We must be driven by a centralized intent. Now, you can call it commander's intent in the military, strategic intent, or vision in the business community, but it is intent-driven. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin planted that flag in 1969 as a result of John F. Kennedy planting that flag in the minds of Congress in 1961, when he said, within the decade, we will put a man on the moon and return him safely. Your leaders in the organization must plant flags in the future that we can align ourselves to. Even if the path is not clear, if we know the why we're doing it and the where we need to be, we can design and develop ways to get there. It's more agile and responsive. And that strategic intent is then nested vertically in the organization. The top of the organization plants the flag the furthest out, levels below, the flags get closer to today. And then it's shared horizontally, people that are bought into that. Now with that, we also have got to make certain that we decentralize the decision-making down to the right level. It is no good to do everything else that we've talked about, and the decision has to filter all the way up to the CEO with every gatekeeper where you have to sell them on what you want to achieve. By the time it gets back to the action level, your competitor did it 4 months before you. There's an art form to decentralized decision-making as well. It's not just scientific. We need to find out where the right decision points are, close enough to the point of action, yet high enough that we've got sound, wise choices that take into balance all of the competing elements of that. Once we've decentralized that, let's then take a look at aligning our processes and systems. So let me talk about the three that are the most critical: human resources, information technology, and finance. They're the most critical because very often they're the slowest to change. And we'll find artifacts in our policies, practices, and procedures left from 4 or 5 strategies ago. Oh no, we can't have an expenditure limit of above $500 because someone 12 years ago in our university used their purchasing card at a strip bar. That's a real story. But we've got a practice in play that's reducing our agility and our responsiveness based on a historical artifact. We've got to make certain that we align our policies, practices, and procedures in human resources, information technology, and finance to give those decision makers on the left the power to actually do what they need to do.